Hey everyone, we're back with another video chronic commentary.
Nope, just chronic
Chronic
comedy.
commentary, yeah, that sounds better. The alliteration. It's been a little while. As you know, things have been a little crazy. We've been a little busy. But we're together tonight because it's safe to be together. It's nice to be together. So we decided, since we're going to have some time to ourselves on our hands, we're going to sit down and watch a movie that Drew actually needs to watch for her other show, Cinema Bias, and kill two birds with one stone.
And if you're watching this, in the New World Order, just understand that what we're doing is watching Nicolas Cage. He was a great actor, and this is something called a podcast. And
Yeah.
Cinema Bias was another thing.
Yeah, yes. So for the aliens that find our culture, now you know what this was.
Yeah, hope we explained that well.
Yeah. So now
Like and subscribe.
So we were watching Vampire's Kiss, which I guess is a good representation of the human race in our art. Yeah.
I'd say that.
Can I get a little background, because this
Sure.
is my thing. It's a 1989 horror comedy, very dark comedy that I consider a predecessor and on the same level with American Psycho. I don't want to say too much about that.
Yeah.
Vampires in the title, so you think that Nicolas Cage is in it. It is Nicolas Cage doing the most Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And people say that about a lot of his movies. No. There's no other movie that even comes close to what he's doing in this.
No, in fact, most of the memes that I've seen of Nicolas Cage are all from this movie. Like this was one of those films that, as soon as I just happened upon it in college, my initial instinct was to always ask like every new friend I met, "Oh, hey, have you seen Vampire's Kiss?" And whenever they wouldn't,
Yeah.
me and my roommate would just sit down and just watch Vampire's Kiss.
My
Yeah.
my friend and former boss Ricky had a poster of it in his basement, and I remember after college, we were, this was post college, and it's like over 2008 or something. And I was like, "What's that? Why have I never heard that?" And he goes, "Oh no, like we're watching it," and like he made a whole night of it or whatever.
Yep.
And he goes, "This is going to be your favorite movie." And I remember thinking, it's not a great way to sell a movie. Like someone pushing movies on you is never a great way to get you to watch something.
Yeah.
But he like locked the door and was like,
Oh
"Sit down,
my
we are
God.
watching it." And I'm so glad he did. I don't want to say too much more to spoil it. I will say this also is kind of like a silly movie. You don't have to. It's not a big thinker. It's mostly about performance, and it's very strange. So I thought it was a perfect movie to talk over and for you to ask questions, and for us all to ask questions. Like,
Yeah. You guys can give me a little tidbits, information, trivia
oh, I mean,
along the way if you spot any.
Oh yeah.
there's something with a cockroach. I know.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah, I think I know that one.
Yes.
This is one of those movies. This was when he was trying to prove that he wasn't a Coppola, prove that he was, more than a Coppola, rather.
Yes.
So, guys, we're gonna be starting this. Do that thing.
We are watching on Amazon Prime.
It's free.
That's where it's free. It's where it's available to stream. So we're watching it. We're at 0 on the black screen beginning of the stream. So if you want to seek up with us to watch along with our reaction, you can watch on the different browser. Play it safe, totally legal, and we're going to sit down and watch Vampire's Kiss.
And we love you very, very, very much. Happy birthday, darling.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
MGM logo.
Lion roar.
This movie was directed by. Sorry about that. Robert Bierman, who you'll know from. ...
And it also stars Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas-
Oh,
Cage.
he was supposed to direct The Fly, apparently.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
really?
so glad that didn't happen. But
But due to personal tragedy, was unable to commit.
Oh,
He's directed.
Don't you feel like an asshole?
Yeah.
I do feel like a shit.
Yeah, no, you're a jerk.
Oh man, I totally forgot Jennifer Beals is in this.
That's right.
Cassie Logs.
And it was written by a guy named Joseph Minion. Who? He wrote After Hours, that Martin Scorsese movie. That's so crazy. Anyway. So there's the New York skyline, as it were.
Very, very orange. At least what my eyes perceive as orange.
Yeah.
FYI, I'm colorblind.
Yep.
Red and green colorblind.
So this is
I
apparently...
thought the mic's kind of in my way, so I thought that said. No, it's fine. It's fine. I was just gonna laugh because I thought it said Christopher Nolan. I was like, what?
So, by the way, this is apparently part of something called the Anxiety Trilogy that was written by the screenwriter. He
Yeah.
wrote 3 movies. The first being After Hours, Vampire's Kiss, and this third one called... Let's see, Anxiety Trilogy... Trafficking. So, I kind of like that because that's the second trilogy, unofficial trilogy I know Nicolas Cage to be in. The first one being the Beige Volvo trilogy, which is famously The Rock, Face Off, and Con Air, where a beige Volvo blows up in all three movies.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
That's my least favorite of those three. I love The Rock, and I mean, Face Off.
Oh, Face Off. That's
Face
a
Off.
classic.
Sorry, what's this trilogy called?
The Anxiety trilogy.
Anxiety trilogy.
And it's not a real trilogy, it's more like a thematic trilogy
Yeah,
the screenwriter did.
Yeah.
No, that's not true, really. I knew I was going to delay when
He does something with his voice in this that I've never heard anyone do ever. It's such a choice.
Which he claims he did it to make his character sound smarter.
I wanted her to disappear.
It's not a real accent, though. He made it up.
Yeah.
But she got the hell out of it.
Alternate theater.
And yet, just the night before, you wanted her very badly.
Yeah.
His first movie, Peggy Sue Got Married, he also did a very weird accent thing. Remember, he talked entirely nasally,
Oh, man.
and that was another one where he claimed that he was trying to prove not to be Coppola. This movie, fun fact or trivia, has terrible sound design.
Yeah, I can see that.
We're in a club now. It's a very late 80s club. Looks like it's too busy of a club to dance in, but yet,
It's so small.
Yeah.
welcome to New York clubs, man.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I've only been to a couple of New York clubs. And like,
You know what's cool about this movie, though? Straight up, it was very hard to film in New York during any time up until Bloomberg. And this movie was very clearly shot and filmed in New York. This was not shot in another location with just some pickup shots.
yeah.
Unless, let me just go check. I'm not lying about that.
Fact check.
Fact check on myself. Yep, all Manhattan. That's right, because
Oh.
you can see from the street scenes. Here, you take control.
Does that come back? There's something talking about the Fantastic Four.
Which is everything that's happening that he does. I feel like there might have been no dialogue when this movie began filming, and it was all improvised. As far as it could have been,
I would not doubt that at all.
because there's some strange pieces of dialogue in this.
Yeah. I mean, hell, only Nicolas Cage would ad-lib a moment of dialogue
Oh.
about the Fantastic Four. Like,
An
seriously.
enthusiastic employer of the method acting technique, Cage took a highly surrealistic approach, apart from his pseudo-Transylvanian dialect.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. The Washington Post described his acting style as scorched earth.
Scorched Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the brand.
So,
I'm just gonna keep up looking at what people originally said about this movie because it's bonkers and anagrams.
there's some groovy
I just wanna
noir jazz music.
Oh man.
I think Roger
Every cho-
Ebert wrote a decent review of this, actually.
So every single physical choice he makes, and dialect wise, but the physical choice, every choice he makes is like so deliberately weird. It's like,
Yeah.
what human would do this? He took that thing and he just kind of threw it. Taking off his own shirt during a hookup scene.
He's struggling with his shirt.
Yeah. Why is that what you're focused on?
Because look
See?
him.
You thought I was just pointing out something random? No, like everything is a choice. And also famously during this time he was doing stuff like Moonstruck, which was another over the top role that was incredible. Like he makes choices.
Certainly is a choice.
And they usually start from the voice and go backwards.
It's great. It was Bat.
Bat? Bat guy? Also, why is he in a bed then?
Yeah, I thought he was under the covers for a second. He's just
on the floor,
He just
and then
died
now
under
he's
the
on the
covers.
bed.
Shit.
Oh god, this is so good. Shit!
Yeah, you're laughing. You're not laughing now, are you?
Here's the thing you also have to remember about this movie. It is supposed to be a comedy. What were they on at this club? Bat!
It's the pillaging.
Let's go.
Now this thing that's about to come up, his laugh is such a choice. It even says mock laughing in the subtitles.
His mannerisms here remind me of Steve Buscemi's character at the beginning of The Wedding Singer.
Oh.
That like kind of drunken brother-in-law or best man brother-in-law at the wedding.
The better man.
Yeah.
He's reminding me of somebody though with the mock laugh too. It's almost like somebody who's pretending to laugh.
Yeah.
Like, ha 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 ha. It's like a
The script says laugh.
no. Like the character thinks this is where a human being would laugh because he's a sociopath.
Sarcastically, I'm in charge.
So funny enough, this character is he works at a publishing house, which he's trying to make a baller ass job. But publishing houses are kind of it's kind of a as opposed to like Wall Street or something else. It's what those guys would call like a cuck industry. So.
That looks so just depressing. Just that office.
Oh my god, no! This isn't Flatiron. This would be gorgeous. I'd always want to work in a book publishing house.
And her clothes.
Oh yes, great. This is Alva.
Alright, Frank Heatherton wants a copy of the first contract we had for the sale of the short story, Rattlesnake Hero. Der Spiegel. See, it's the first foreign sale he's ever had, and suddenly he wants to frame the agreement. Now, the story was sold in 1963.
Big
I
move.
know that's a long time before even I was here.
Just no socks with the loafers, I
Yeah,
guess.
just-
There's no reason why the agent
That's now a look.
have a copy of it.
It's a
I already
choice.
looked at the files in the Heatherton, I looked in the Rattlesnake Hills, but I am asking you to go through the entire Der Spiegel file because that is a very fat file and nothing is in order and it will take hours, but it will be there. Somewhere. Please find it and bring it.
I wonder if they were like the idea of toxic masculinity. We don't really have a term for it yet, but can you try to do it? And then he stares at her shoes. Everyone stares at each other's shoes in this movie. It's not unlike the scene in American Psycho where he's like that outfit. He's like, don't wear it again.
Yeah.
You're pretty at that.
Yeah.
The choices here. What are we looking at? Why is he staring out the window at somebody not being kissing so hard that they're not trying to take their Pepsi?
Yeah.
They need that Pepsi product placement.
Yeah.
Oh, New York, pre-New York. So this was a place called New York, guys. This was a really popular destination on the East Coast. It was a hub of many industries.
Yeah. Once
In
upon a
many
time.
cultures.
Now you'll know it probably as the place where the psychic squid fall. Hopefully.
It's like it's Squidfall and the really flat bad pizza.
Oh my god, shut the fuck. Oh my god. Can I curse on this? Like, honestly, how dare you? This is the only, New York is the only good pizza in America or the world.
The debate continues.
No, there is no debate. Just because you once lived in Chicago doesn't mean you get the right to criticize our pizza.
Yes, it does.
And this is fucking California with their pizza. It's like California and their wonton soup. You don't ruin it by putting vegetables on it.
Shoo!
Wonton soup is literally just broth, the wontons, and then there's little pork strips, and then like some green onions. That's it. Anything else in wonton soup is garbage. How dare you?
I don't know if I want Chinese or pizza again, guys.
No, me either. So it's cool because he has a psychiatrist or psychologist, I guess. But a lot of this movie focuses on therapy, which I like.
Peter,
So I guess my time's up.
a couple more minutes. You know, lately, you have always been telling me when our time is up.
That's some big dick energy, honestly.
Maybe. Doesn't it make you feel a little insecure when I say, well, what?
Nothing. I was remembering. I brought this girl up to my place the other night. Really hot. And we're on the bed.
Were you?
Scooping down out of nowhere.
A bat?
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Holy shit!
The part,
That's really.
I don't know if this really happened or I dreamt it later or what. I mean, I'm fighting this battle all alone. I'll be damned if I didn't get really turned on. You were around.
How did you not bring this up earlier in therapy?
You said just a few seconds before you were in the throes of passion.
Yeah, I know. With the girl?
Yes, with the girl.
Oh, sure. Absolutely, but then she left the room and I was... I mean, I came down. I was in Mortal Kombat with a fucking bat.
You were fighting.
Oh no, the problem is I'm realizing I love this movie so much I don't want to talk through it.
Yes, that is the precise order of events.
Oh, yes, see you on
Like, what a perfect character. I already know so much about this man. what kind of how he like controls women in his life, what he thinks about people. Oh no.
We also get a lot from her too.
Yeah.
We do get a lot about her life
Yeah.
at some point in this film.
Alba, I didn't see that you found that religion.
Well, I checked through the back files on your head and phone and
Wow. Dude hates women.
Alba, I told you that I already checked this file.
It's the tilt.
I told you.
Hey, you already got it really good. I can't do it.
It sounds like a mixture of like a California surfer bro and Donald Trump.
Whoa! Holy shit!
Wow.
I told you. Wow. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised to find that he channeled. I mean, Trump was a huge New York, huge New York hater of women at this time. So.
Nicolas Cage was ahead of his time.
No, he was. I think he was channeling something that was happening at the
He's a
time.
man of his time.
He's a man of his
Still
time.
is.
Sort of like how Devil's Advocate, at one point they go, they have a penthouse party, and he goes, Donald Trump was supposed to be here, but he couldn't make it. And behind the scenes, the real story was that was Donald Trump's penthouse they were filming in. He just wasn't in town that weekend. He was supposed to have a cameo as being friends with the devil in the Devil's Advocate.
He's like too close.
Yeah. A lot of weird celebrities show up in the Devil's Advocate to have cameos as somebody who would be friends with Satan, like the guy from Dark Knight, that senator who is like,
Oh.
yeah,
Right,
yeah, and also Don King.
Yeah.
But Donald
That
Trump
makes
is
so
just
much
mwah.
sense for the 90s.
Yeah. Everyone else like that sounds fun. Donald Trump was like, oh no, throw on to me.
Leave town, but also please film at my place.
Yeah.
I don't save the same amount I put in the other account. Let's say I put $2,000 in the IRA. Now, that doesn't
Oh no,
make
the trivia I don't know.
Oh, God.
sense. 700, right, Peter?
He's still thinking about that bat.
Get interest on the
How hot that bat was.
Damn it, they didn't turn me on. It's, you know what? We forgot a third thing that it's that plus Keanu.
Keanu, yeah, a little bit Keanu.
Then maybe that's
yeah.
Surfer. It's Keanu plus Trump equals Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Every choice.
Just that like whip of a drink.
Loki would go home with him just to see what the inside of his place looked like.
Yeah, it has a super hot bat in it. Yeah, that's what you're into.
I've definitely been like, I'm not attracted to you, but you seem so weird that I need to see what the inside of your house looks like.
Even just that when he did, hello. Like, I was just half expecting her to just grab it and just kiss it.
I want, yeah, like, when he says that he went method for this, like, I don't know what that means, because it's not like method in the traditional Stanislavski, like you're tapping into sense memories. What he's doing is acting like no other humans ever, he's making choices that no other humans ever made.
It's method for like an alien creature.
Yeah. So when he says that this is method, I get worried. The bees!
It's like, this is so hot.
So this, see, he brought home a vampire, which is just terrible luck.
Is that... is she the bat?
Well, that's the question, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Bat!
Safe word.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
This better not awaken anything in me.
This better not awaken anything in me. That's what he said, fighting off that bat. So get up, bitch. He's like, no, I forgot your name.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I didn't catch your name.
I didn't catch your name.
You chose me. Because he liked her earrings. Kind of looks like Buscemi there. He's shaving.
Randall.
So far, this is the most normal action we've seen him take as an... Oh, too late. God, 90s Nicolas Cage is the best. Glorious Sunday.
No comments on my coffee, please. They would like it. I'll send out.
Oh, no. Guys, there was actually supposed to be an actress in the scene. Nicolas Cage was just doing a couple takes, and they said to run with this.
Well, Phil, you
So
can
this
film
basically-
the rehearsal.
So this is the question: was he already crazy? Like, when did he go crazy? Was he crazy at the start of the movie? Was she a vampire, or was, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Who knows? Perfect.
See the Scott Pilgrim wheel spinning in his head.
Oh, this man's never had a wheel spin in his head in his life.
It's just always spinning.
No, it's just an answer just pops up.
Yeah, the wheel's broken in his head. Is the wheel on the shot?
There's no wheel here. He's just telling you if your answer's correct or incorrect. Oh, sorry. He said he got to take a piss, and then he just left during an exit.
That's a new museum?
Oh, no, the new museum. It's on Bowery. They renovated a couple years ago. You probably know it now as the burning pile of rubble near the bridge that used to be.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was a date. I thought he just met some chick at a thing. He was sitting with her.
Wasn't that the same woman from the beginning?
What?
How long did she stay there before?
Oh, also, like, weirdly, this is one of those movies, kind of like Devil's Advocate, where they hired actresses that looked a lot alike. I think because Beale dropped out somewhere through this movie. So. Hey. You're right, that was the girlfriend person. But
Don't you ever call me again, you fucker. Fuck you.
he's got resting cage face. Like that little
Yeah.
check out her ass.
Oh.
Where is he?
He's in his place. There's a chessboard right there.
Oh, yeah. Back to therapy he goes.
How was your weekend?
He knew.
He knew.
Got bit
You're
by
right,
a
it's
vampire.
Trump.
Are you a fan?
God.
Just got myself shaven.
Well,
So does he think he was bit by a vampire?
why don't we begin with
Because he knows he cut himself shaving.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
he doesn't remember.
Strange feeling happens back
There was no girl in the
through
apartment.
the window of your apartment.
Hmm.
The feeling of exaltation that you experience. So you made it sound as though it were something more than sexual.
No, I think he made it sound sexual, and that was the problem.
It was more sexual than it needed to be.
Oh, I think you're right. He doesn't remember.
Well, you were very sure about it last week.
Or he's
and
lying.
It made a very strong impression.
Oh, yes.
I was very aroused.
I guess I'm pretty horny. Pretty keyed up for being with the girl that
No, yeah, he's lying. He's covering.
I was drunk, too. That was it. I'd had a little to drink. I was a little drunk.
I'm sorry. Tell that again.
What's going on in this scene? Like, what does he think the character is doing? That's a lie, too.
Yeah.
What if Nick Cage was making up all the lines of dialogue on the spot?
No, it's a real talk. Like, I wonder what this character, like, internally, what he is thinking is. I'm just curious. Oh no!
Gaga.
Yeah.
Gaga.
Yeah, it's just he said Heatherton on line 3, and he just went.
Yeah. He just turned gnawing at the air.
That's my kind of for me. And I'm sure he's calling about the Der Spiegel contract, which he still hasn't gotten a copy of. How do I know he hasn't gotten a copy of it? Because I haven't sent it to him. Why haven't I sent it to him? Because you haven't found it and brought it to me, and now it's fucking Tuesday, and I still don't see her on
Why does he hate her so much? Like, he gave her something specifically to fuck with her.
Probably for the same reason Donald Trump doesn't like Mexicans, right?
There's a specific target.
Now, I just want you
And he's
to
also
be
obsessed
here
with her.
and listen to the song and dance that I have to do. That I have to do because you haven't done your job. Ready?
Please sing.
Good night, Frank. How are you?
Oh my god. His face. So basically, he's just been told it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a sociopath. Is what we're getting.
And
He's not crazy, he's sociopathic. Or like a sadist or something.
Seems I didn't have to do a song and dance after all, huh? You can hear I couldn't get a word in. Mr. Heatherton is boiling up. And he hasn't flown, but if he doesn't get that copy within the week, he will terminate his agreement with our agency and sign up with the more official one. Am I getting through to you?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It is kind of how you hear people like Trump treat their employees though, like
Yeah.
that sort of process of belittling and breaking down their
you're fired.
yeah. You're fired, exactly.
God.
Belittling. Oh my god, guys, not to get too
Guys.
political, but I think this movie was based on Donald Trump.
I'll be out for the rest of
Him getting bit by a vampire explains everything.
Yeah, he lost the soul.
I'm actually gonna Google whether vampires kiss
You
Trump.
should.
I get waited on today or what? I'm sitting here for 15 minutes. Right away. Right away.
And then he took me on one of those horseman carriage rides. And in the middle of it, he asked you what? To marry him.
Fucking Greaser!
So we saw from earlier, he already has a problem with like happy couples, the idea of like relationships.
Yeah. Oh no.
You all right?
This old guy came like rushing in so fast to help him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone else
Back
has
to my
pointed this
day.
out before.
Wow.
And there's
On
just-
Eric's first what
You're just two mimes dancing and fighting.
Yes, this is one of the best parts of the movie is that kind of choice. Choices like those to include stuff like that. Why? No reason. It's almost, you know what it is? It's almost Polanski-ish.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just off-putting. The color schemes, his acting style,
Yes.
the story itself, the idea of, like, insanity.
Yeah. I will say, Eric, in the 15 years that I've been watching this movie, never once did someone crack the origins of his voice
Yeah.
more than you did just now. So I
Oh, wait.
applaud you on that.
As somebody on an Amazon UK review figured it out.
They would know, right?
Yeah.
They don't
I
care.
imagine the conversations Donald Trump has with himself are similar to those Nicolas Cage characters has with himself in the movie. They're both misogynists with delusions of grandeur.
I look, you know where it bothered you. I didn't mean to hurt you. It was.
Better be held for good reason. Well, I can't for a couple of hours.
Let's just say 9 o'clock. Mother time.
All right. 9 o'clock.
Vampire's Kiss, Cage, Donald Trump impression. Let's get real with this. Oh, it's on Reddit. Yep, someone said Nick Cage would make a great Trump. And someone else right above it says he sounds like Keanu Reeves in Dracula. We're both right.
Thank you, Count Dracula. God.
So he cut himself shaving, but he thought there was a woman in his bed. And there was no woman in his bed.
Yeah. I could have sworn.
What?
Didn't he cut himself on the left side of his neck when he was
Yeah,
shaving?
I mean, this would go with the whole idea that he's crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We know for a fact there was a bat because the other woman saw the bat.
Yes.
But everything after that, we don't know.
Yeah.
I love where he lives. I love everything about that. This is a very New York movie. No, I think it was on this side.
Could have sworn. Wait.
He was staring in a mirror. That's hard.
Kid.
The funny thing about he's not a book agent, right? So he works at a book publishing. And those are people that are like basically librarians. They're like custodians of old works. They're not like they're not like baller types.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not Patrick Bateman.
I know a couple big name publishers that are like who work at big name publishing places, and they're cool and they like throw a lot of power around, but they're not like going down on Wall Street with their money and like, you know, doing Wolf of Wall Street stuff. They're not like Jordan Belfont.
Belfort.
Get the
Nope, Belfont, because he jumps in the line, everybody in time. Okay, I believe you. That would be Belafonte. I'm sure you guys have all seen Leaving Las Vegas, famously where he won his Oscar for, because I do believe he's a great actor.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's fantastic.
He just makes choices.
Yeah.
And
He stands by them.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, look at it. Like, you already reached your pinnacle. Where else can you go?
Yeah.
I don't even think it's like that. I think every movie he approaches and he's like, I'm doing a different thing with it. Like, like Matchstick Men was a great performance
Oh,
by
I
him.
love Matchstick Men.
Now, the only time I've seen him try to redo something that's similar like this with the voice, Color Out of Space, where he cycles through a bunch of different kinds of voices as he's portraying, like, as he's slowly going mad and whatever. And whenever he does an impression of his father, who is supposed to be an abusive asshole, he launches into exactly this voice and the mannerisms.
Man, I gotta watch that next.
Brandon Meyer.
Shout out.
So I believe what happened was they got this actress and she, like, cut out halfway through, so they had to cut around her.
Oh.
Another great movie with Cage, just doing Cage, is him as a guy who thinks he's Elvis in Wild at Heart.
Oh, yeah.
Or like loves Elvis so much.
Yeah.
In a David Lynch movie. I mean, come on, with Laura Dern and Willem Dafoe.
It's very Nosferatu. There.
Yeah. He's in the Deadlights now. Is it just me, or does he have a type? Or is this my face blindness?
No. He does have.
Okay, I feel like this is just like a reused shot.
It is. It probably is.
Different boxers?
No, same exact one. And even
She's wearing the same garter. Yeah, I imagine you do
And
this once with Nicolas Cage, and you don't want to do it again.
Yeah. They definitely shot it. It's just, I feel like they didn't even like they
That's-
stopped rolling.
However,
Same
there,
take.
there is a very famous story about a later shot in this movie that he wanted to go real method on. They're like, "There's no need for that. There's no need for you to do what you're doing." And he, because he took this movie very seriously.
yeah.
He's just staring at nothing. Please scream it like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yes, he does.
Alva. She kind of looks like Audrey Tautou.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
oh my God! Wait for it! 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 It's about to happen.
This is.
There you are.
This is.
Oh my God! In what reality does this movie take place?
If Trump was, spry, I feel like he would do that.
What the hell is he doing in here?
I have a gun. You heard me. I'm gonna use it.
What the fuck is going on?
Oh my god.
I'm doing all I can. I'm ready to come to love. Don't come near me. Tell me to laugh about this. I swear I'm gonna use my gun. You can't.
This is, back in the heart in the good old days when you can bring a gun to work. Just like today. Look what she's wearing on her neck.
You alright, honey?
She brought a gun to work in the first act, so. This scene. So this scene's so great because this shows you how self-aware this movie is. Turning down the blinds because
She asked me for a raise.
She actually does keep a gun down over there. Not really. Plus, she takes the subway into Pelham every night. I don't blame the kid.
She asked me for a raise for getting chased into the ladies' room.
Well, I think she deserves it, Cindy. You can take it out of the tiller's paycheck.
Fuck you. One question, Peter. Is my name written anywhere on the bathroom wall?
like that fake laugh. There it is again.
What did it say?
That's somebody doing an impression of a person.
We are laughing.
Yeah, that's somebody doing an impression of a human being. But what is he doing to Alba? I have so many questions, and I've seen this movie a million times.
No matter how many times you watch it, you'll just come up with another question.
I mean, there's no answers.
Like, who wrote that?
Oh, that's the chick he stood up for the second time at the bar because it's a bar
Yeah.
napkin.
It's a pink and fancy napkin.
Well, you saw her pick it the pen
Yeah.
up at the bar.
Where'd she
Appropriate
find
reaction,
the tape?
appropriate reaction, appropriate reaction. Also, what did you think was gonna happen with that girl? He stood up twice.
Yeah. There's so many great potential gifs.
Oh yeah, this movie, this is the potential. Whenever you Google Nicolas Cage gifs, this is where a lot of them come from.
And trust me on this, Eric, you have not gotten to.
We haven't even got to the
bulk.
ones that you've seen before
Yeah,
in your
fair.
life. Because you'll see them, you'll be like, oh, that's where this comes from.
It's some Walking Phoenix energy right there.
That's what I'm saying. Method acting for a dark comedy like this was not required for him to do this, but we appreciate it.
Joaquin Phoenix hates porcelain.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage hates lamps.
No, at least Nicolas Cage has a sense of humor about himself.
Oh, God.
Now he's doing this again because he stood someone up for 2 times in a row. Ran out of one date, back exit, called her, asked her out somewhere else. Didn't show up.
Yeah.
She says, "Get out of my life," and he's trashed his apartment. What else would you keep in there besides a gun? Nothing else is gonna fit in there. He can get it. I want to interview Nicolas Cage and ask him what he thinks method is. And if so,
It's
what life experiences is he drawing from exactly?
Yeah.
I love that most of this movie takes place in a New York therapist's office.
Difficult day yesterday. Got a little upset.
Like,
The office.
like me in New York, he goes to therapy every day. There's a thing, psychoanalysis.
Well, it's just there's this
It's a good
contract
thing to do.
we're trying to locate.
It's like what Woody Allen does. It's a different kind of therapy. Here we go. It's about to pop.
Shouldn't, if a company, if a literary agency makes a copy of every contract, of every single contract it makes with a client, and then puts it in a file, in the appropriate file, shouldn't the copy be in that file?
He's also a little bit Jared Kushner.
It should.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
I can quote this entire scene from her. Miss.
Yes, misfiled. Sometimes somebody puts a document in the wrong file and then it's misfiled. It makes it much harder to follow.
Who? What do you mean? Who?
No, who exactly?
You do?
You didn't.
I don't. Whoever filed it in the first place. For God's sakes, Peter, I am not telling you one single thing you don't already know.
How could somebody misfile something? What could be easier? It's all alphabetical. You just put it in the right file, according to alphabetical order. You know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. That's all you have to do. I don't even solve anything.
I love that. What is he doing? Oh my god. Oh my god, like what was that? Let's just take a moment.
I want to know, really. Who did?
Let me tell you that.
You can't?
No, I can't.
You call yourself a psychiatrist. This movie.
Anytime something was misfiled at work.
You call yourself a psychiatrist.
You call yourself a psychiatrist. Who did it?
You get the sense that before even this vampire whatever situation happened, this is who this guy was, and he was headed towards this direction.
Yeah.
Whatever his life was, he was barely hanging on to this semblance of a human mask.
It only took one bite, or so we think.
No, you
It
know
could
what?
or it could not have happened.
He didn't get bit when he was struggling with the bat. It's almost like because remember he just like looked at his neck afterwards and he was like, oh, like he was almost like, I wish it had. He said he got turned on, and then the next night he had a thing where he imagined what if that bat bit, woman.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Lowe? Actually, she's just leaving, Mr. Lowe.
She showed up for work the next day? Jesus.
Yeah.
Mr. Lowe would like to see you.
No. He did have a good criticism about like what it was like to work in any place in pre New America.
Yeah.
I hope you're not still angry at me about the other day, Alma. I apologize, and I honestly meant it. Stasha? Yeah, that mescaline.
Whoa, that mescaline.
Strange stuff. I'll never do that again.
Jeez. The idea of doing mescaline in the office.
I did it once.
What? How easy was it to get mescaline?
I used to watch in high school.
Yeah, they sound like smoking.
Is he a
Yes,
Bond
yes.
villain?
Those were the days, eh, Alma?
Alva, run. Alva, run.
So, why do you have your coat on?
Well, I'm leaving at 5 o'clock.
But you know, Alva, you still haven't found that contract yet, have you?
I told you there are 15, there's people file. That's all I do all day. I mean,
But you haven't found it yet, Alva.
Do you think he thinks that phone conversation went differently, or do you think he just... Because why is he like... He could be doing other things with his time. Most people are casually like sexist and like torture people. Like, why focus on it?
Yeah.
Why make it your life?
Because he's a sociopath.
Sociopaths use people. They don't create this. This is sadism.
Alva, there is no one else in this entire office
This speech.
that I could possibly ask to share such a horrible job.
Oh.
You're the lowest on the totem pole here, Alva.
Oh, he's Ramsay Bolton.
You realize that?
Oh my god.
That's what he is.
Every other secretary who's been here longer than you, Alva. Everyone.
This movie is my favorite
And even
movie.
if there was someone here who was here just one day longer than you, I still wouldn't ask that person to partake in such a miserable job as long as you were around. That's right, Alva. It's a horrible, horrible job. Sifting through old contracts.
Man, this reminds me I don't want to go back to work.
I couldn't think of a more horrible job if I wanted to.
Yo,
And you
how's that mescaline?
You have to, or I'll fire you. Do you understand? Do you?
Jesus. I love that the threat there was that he'll fire her and not that he'll eat her.
Yeah.
The way he was just looking at her was horrifying.
I'll fire you and eat you.
He's
And not
crazy.
in that order.
He's Ramsay Bolton. That's what it is. He's not.
Weak.
And I would revise my answer. He's not a sociopath. Because sociopaths like
Use your gun.
he's crazy and he's a sadist, but sociopaths
Yes,
like
I agree. I agree with sadism more. Yeah. Definitely.
sociopaths do a better job of seeming human. Sociopaths like blend into society. This is a crazy man.
I just love the fact that we know he just went grocery shopping because there's this
There's a
chicken
baguette.
bread.
Of course there's a baguette. It's probably next to the mime.
People are so helpful in New York. This is like the third person that's helped them.
New York is a super helpful place. That's the thing everyone got wrong about New York.
This is.
Oh,
That's your food.
When I was there with the Schmodown person, someone came in, just came up to us on the street while we were talking, just a random old woman, and goes, "Did you hear it's supposed to rain tomorrow?" And the person just like got so disoriented and was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "That's just a helpful New Yorker. Just trying to tell you that there's gonna be rain tomorrow." I mean, we're crazy, but we're very helpful.
You were so right to put yourself in my hands.
But the phone.
You love me, my angel. Whisper to me. Just once.
Vampires don't need permission, I guess, in this world.
Just once. I know you do. Let me reach for my knife.
She's a really needy, clingy vampire who's super thirsty.
Can't get through the day without thinking about me, can you?
Dude, uncross that eye.
oh god, it just hurts just looking at that.
You know how much method time he probably spent learning how to do that. That's what I mean by like he commits to his choices and probably spent days learning how to cross his eye.
Oof.
Tell me how much you love me.
Yo, it's a third date.
Tell me.
I love you.
Oh, okay. So like in his. Oh, he just has a. I see it a little bit. He just has a fantasy about having a relationship where he's not the one in control and calling the shots, so he could actually just be in the relationship. Whereas most things he gets to call the shots on and it drives him crazy.
That's right.
There's Nosferatu. When he looks at other couples, he sees people that are able to just do it.
Yeah.
And it makes him furious.
Yeah.
It's a fantasy about a man who wants a dominant woman in his life.
Oh.
I figured it out.
That was so clever.
What he said.
Masculine. How did you ever think of that? Why should I be so surprised? My little virgin.
Oh no, what do you think his mom was like?
Yeah, Nick Cage was his character.
Character. Both.
Keep our passion secret.
He's a Coppola on the mom's side, I think. No,
No, I thought, I thought he was a couple on his mom's side.
let me double check. He's on the opposite side of Schwartzman, because Schwartzman's is the kid of the other sibling.
Huh.
B, C, D. Ciao, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Max Shrek.
Yes, also the name of who? What character? And what in what DC property?
Yeah.
Max Shrek is a character in what DC property? It's a movie.
Oh, Batman Returns.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah, Max Shrek is the name of the actor who played Nosferatu.
I can give you money, Jules, a very big bowl of string.
And now who played Max Shrek in Shadow of the Vampire with John Malkovich?
Willem Dafoe.
Thank you. What year did it come out?
2000.
I believe it was 2000. It might have been 2001. Let me double check.
Yep.
God, that's crazy.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And just back to
And
work. So here's something that he decides to do. That was not in the script.
Oh, yeah, you telling me about this.
Not in the script. No one. He was supposed to eat a raw egg, and instead he was like, "You know what would be better?
A cockroach.
A cockroach.
A live cockroach.
A live cockroach, old boy style. That's how committed. This is what he means by method."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No one asked you to do that." They did it in three takes, so 3 different cockroaches.
No.
What does that show? That's proving something, and I think it's Nicolas Cage needing to prove that he didn't just get where he was because he was related to the Godfather guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's big Cage energy.
Yeah. Kathleen Turner talks about when his first role in Peggy Sue Got Married, like how like just he needed to do that voice. He needed to do so many things to like be like I'm an actor. I think this is something he thinks actors do. Eat cockroaches.
Well, yeah. I mean, but also on top of that, I mean, like as you mentioned before, he's related to the Godfather. He probably didn't want people to know that he was a Coppola and that he wasn't
didn't.
trying to.
Yeah.
But people did know that he was getting cast for those things. So the thing is, I think he wanted to be like, but I am worth it. Like my merits are strong enough, and look at me. Like I'm.
Yeah.
People know I'm related. People in the industry know that I'm related to Coppola. But like, my name's not Coppola, and then also I like earned my right at the table. Look
Yeah.
at me eat this cockroach.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and he definitely earned his spot at the table at least 2 or 3 years later, right?
He earned his spot at the table the day he did this movie. What are we talking about? Earn the spot. I mean, this is Hollywood. No one like a lot of people don't earn their spot at the table. They just grow into it if they're lucky.
Listen, young lady, you can't afford to lose that job.
Except for Channing Tatum, who earned it by like literally being a male stripper in Florida until he got to be Channing Tatum.
God,
I love him so much. I love his life story so much.
like look at his career. Like honestly, we like he was in so many bad movies, and now he's like
I need that third movie that bridges over the character from Magic Mike to like him getting the job and Step Up, so we can just like I need to get that thing where it's like in the third movie he goes to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, Magic Mike is a biodoc that he's made about himself.
It's a half documentary, right?
Yeah, that he got Soderbergh to make about his own life story.
Yeah.
That's why he can dance so good to Genuine. Oh my fucking god. Call the police.
What are you doing here? I'm calling the police.
There we go.
Albert, I'm here to call the police, man.
Man.
I brought some mescaline. No, don't fall for it the third time, you dum-dum. So wait, is he turning into a vampire or is he turning into a Renfro? Whatever the guy's name. Renault.
Brad Renfro?
No, the character
Oh,
that
Renfield.
Renfield. He's turning into
Oh.
a Renfield. He's not turning into a vampire.
I would say more of a Renfield more
'Cause
than
he
anything
ate the
else
cockroaches.
because he will only feed on
He ate the cockroach.
he ate the cockroach and he's
The way
going
he-
insane.
And the way he acts when he's around the vampire, allegedly.
And he's very submissive.
But was he the sunlight and the stuff?
Renfield?
No, why is Renfield like allergic to sunlight too?
No.
No, so he's just
No.
I think he's incorporating a lot of vampire tropes
Yeah.
from the fact that he's watching vampire movies and going, what do vampires do?
I had a feeling that was the case, and that's why I'm on the way up here. Because it's my fault you feel that.
Dude, don't invite him in.
Return to running the patient office.
That may be, but some things just take time.
No.
Hey, Albert, the way I feel is
Get
hell
out.
with Frank Heatherton.
Nope.
If he wants to go to another agency, fine. So what do you say? You want to come to work?
Oh, he's so like, I don't even know what he thinks reality is.
On me.
Just like, hunched over T-Rex arms he has going on.
Oh, those become a continuing part of the film.
Yes.
As he continues to develop these vampire traits.
I want to say so much, but I don't want to spoil it.
Suffice to say, this movie just goes from here to more batshit. This is pun intended.
Pun intended.
This movie really doesn't have a lull. Like, it starts out at batshit, and then it just goes to like just crazy.
I would have loved to have gone back to 1989 just to watch this with the audience back then.
This was real. This is one of those real definition of cult movies in the sense that everyone was like, "No, this movie sucks."
Pressures, you just build up. Wait till you get into a position of authority.
Yeah.
Yeah, lol.
I mean, if I ever do.
You will, Alpha. You're very by girl. That's how I know that today, by God, is the day you're gonna find that damn contract.
It's just like, oh.
How'd she fall for that? You know what? That one's on you, Alba. New York Post once wrote, Nick Cage is the Meryl Streep of batshit characters. I believe that to be true.
We're gonna stop trying to do the best damn job we can. The work's not just gonna go away, Alpha.
Get away.
It never just
Get
goes.
away. That's not that contract! It's somewhere else! Goddamn fucking file!
Oh god, that's the story of my life. Just getting upset, dry heaving.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Yo, that cab driver, please give a look at that cab driver just cutting the eyes.
No, I was supposed to give some money to my brother, and he works in that gas station over there. Do you think it's okay if he suffers?
So run. Honestly, I hate to victim blame here, but Alva, you had a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
And also just, I mean, how many times can you possibly fall for it?
You know, it's real. Nick Cage privilege is a real thing.
It's not serious. You got the time to lean, you got the time to clean. It's the same old round. Old man Randall.
No, just please come out and take a look at this dude for me.
Yeah.
This isn't just like a shit job.
Well, what I felt, that's my baby. Yeah. Life. 15 years keeps me
See, yeah, I think this is a real undercurrent.
and there's a lot. Am I right? You're a married man?
Oh, she had a very true idea for what how guns work. Just get them.
Just and take it out and just point it at someone
Yeah,
haphazardly.
but also don't like have bullets, and that way, you know.
Close enough to spit on you. Look, you ain't supposed to be carrying this thing around.
I'm asking you, Amelia.
I'm just gonna take that super soaker from your trunk and just paint it.
Or you can fill it up with gas.
Whoa, whoa, that's not an okay
Jeez.
word to say.
Okay, Mr. Psycho, Tony Hale.
Oh my god.
Oh. Trust me, that works.
This movie seems very prescient right now. Donald Trump against the Hispanic culture of Pelham, New York.
Yeah.
So she gets back in the car just with the bullets.
Yeah.
The idea that if she's gonna
As
go back
opposed
to work.
yeah, as opposed to just saying fuck this.
Yeah. The idea is that she's willing to find the contract, but she's also willing to shoot a man should it come to that.
Or at least scare him, right? Because of blanks. Is it?
No. She got
real.
real bullets. It was blank. There was nothing in there, and then she was like, I need bullets. Why not just like, I need a new job?
Yeah.
That's the Williamsburg. No, that's the Brooklyn Bridge, I believe. Or it was.
Used to be the Brooklyn.
I don't know when this episode's coming out, but
Before the Cloverfield monster showed up
before, yeah, the Purge.
for the protests.
Goddamn J.J. Abrams.
Jesus. Funny man.
Funny man. I would have been pissed because I would have looked like, wait, did he just pay me in all singles right
Yeah,
now?
that's like yeah. That
It looks like he just threw $5 at me.
Oh God, Alva. Alva, you could be cleaning floors. You could do anything else.
Like a clean floors is the first thing you go
What if
to.
that's what her mom said? No, that's what her mom said. You want to
Really?
be cleaning floors.
Oh, okay.
That's what her brother just said. There's times you lean and times you clean. So the idea is that this is a higher blue white collar job for her.
Yeah.
So that's why ostensibly she wouldn't want to lose it. But if you're at the point where you're taking bullets
Yeah.
for the gun in your bag to work, not worth it.
Definitely not worth it.
If,
Her
the
mom
day he
was
followed,
kind
the day he followed you into the female's bathroom,
Yeah.
and your boss laughed it off and refused to give you a raise.
Yeah.
just jumping on the fucking table.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you are.
The complicity of the rest of it. You could say he's crazy, but the complicity of the rest of that office.
Yeah.
oh my god, yeah.
This is.
Where am I?
It's interesting.
If he's a vampire, he can't see his reflection.
But it's like the same framing when when he was shaving.
Oh, interesting.
It's almost like he just woke up from that day he was shaving.
Oh my god.
Kinda. I think the idea is that he can't see his reflection anymore,
Yeah.
so he's invisible now. But it is an interesting sort of thing.
Yeah.
The shaving has very nothing to do with it. I think what happened is, if I can piece this together, he was turned on by a bat, and that caused him to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Finding out that he was more turned on by a bat than a person, and that he actually can't stand women, and he romanticizes the idea of it.
Yeah.
He ate a cockroach,
He ate a cockroach for his art.
and no one else is like he's doing a bad job at work. Everyone else is like he's doing great. He's killing it.
Great job,
Huh?
Mr. Luke.
That fake
He's
laugh,
getting everything done.
that handshake and fake laugh really sold us. Here's a promotion for next quarter.
Yeah, 'cause that's the way those agencies.
You know how that mescaline trip at work goes.
Yeah, you just fail upwards.
See, like see the shot, like it's like
man.
the idea there.
She's just like, hey, do you want to switch?
She would absolutely love to switch. Oh, it really sucks that like there's nobody of authority she can go to. Watching this movie today has really like some other like
It has
beats, but like God,
yeah.
that's an awful scene where like they're showing everyone laughing about it,
Yeah.
and
and they all know about it.
yeah, and they're
just
like, did you ask for a raise? Haha, like she has a gun in there.
She found it.
She found it. I think also he's kind of she represents like a love and normalcy that he like craves and also needs to destroy.
Hello?
Like she's sweet, innocent.
yeah, he
And
he
he's
feels
like-
so sorry for her throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think he recognized that in his brutality, his like hatred of her is.
Just, I never found the right woman. This work and this love. I'm right.
That looks like the cab driver.
It is the cab driver.
is.
It is. Yeah.
Who do you think he's talking to? Nope. That's a very Nosferatu lighting.
It's too late, huh?
Not too late.
Too late.
Not too late. It's not too late.
This is actually terrible. This is like
Yeah.
low key terrifying.
It is.
Yeah.
It's all too late, Alma. Come here. Come here.
Why would you agree to stay late at the office? He tricked her into going to the office, but you had time to get out of that car, lady.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have stayed after hours. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Not
He's very
alone with him,
He's
right?
very clearly unhinged.
Clearly insane.
Oh, this movie is so dark. And it isn't un-Polanski-esque. I will
Yeah.
say that.
Do it, Alma. Do it.
Have you ever seen Repulsion with Catherine Deneuve?
Alma, do it or I'll fire you. Do you
That's still the threat.
Unemployment, can you live with that?
Go, goddammit!
Jesus.
Come on, Alma.
Jesus.
Not the floor. Me.
He's reminded me of Paul Rubens in Buffy, the Buffy movie.
Oh my
yeah.
god, yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, you're right. It is blanks. It is blanks. Because remember, yeah, it's absolutely blanks.
Yeah.
Which the brother said would scare off anybody in a 5-mile radius or whatever. Wow, Nicolas Cage. So let me just do my recall of a sense memory of the time that I also felt like this as
Yeah.
a child. Truly a fantastic film. A lot of questions.
Oh, absolutely.
But it
One
def-
of Nick Cage's best.
But also as a concept, this part works, like why he now thinks he's immortal.
Yeah.
Because he shot himself with blanks.
Yeah.
But even with blanks, that would
That-
fucking break your teeth.
Yeah.
I think he does. I think he's bleeding from the mouth. I think.
But
Oh, it did break his teeth, I think. He just straight up said boo-hoo.
overtime.
No, he's gaining control. Just quick two boo-hoos that were written into the script as boo-hoo. Character says boohoo. Oh, welcome to the third act of this fucking film.
This.
This fucking film. This was all filmed guerrilla style, by the way. This was people actually just reacting to Nicolas Cage on the street. This was not closed sets. The rest of this movie, any street scene was not a closed set. It was 100% a true fact.
100%.
Not even sure if they had a permit. Vampires trash rooms, Mom. Jordan Peterson would have something to do with that vampire.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's
And
cool
just-
how you rearranged the bookcases to be like more of an IKEA thing. It's more like he just reformatted them so they're sort of that lower, sort of like where you put CDs now, records. Oh man, you overturned the couch.
It's like a coffin.
Yeah. And that earring she has is very Cronenberg Dead Ringers. Were you supposed to get the idea that he was trying to resist her? I thought he liked her. I thought he was really into this. Now he hates it? Unclear. Also, why did he steal the cross, and how could he, in his own logic, steal her cross?
So many questions.
He's a vampire, you guys. He's a vampire. He's a vampire. What would have been great is if this movie ended up like Split, and the reveal is that he's a vampire.
Yeah. And also not a vampire. Same time.
No, that he is a vampire. He just shot himself with blanks, and he just is a vampire.
Yeah. It's just.
Yo, yeah. Systematic injustice.
Yeah.
Who you gonna call? New York during this time was also famously like just awful, like just really cops, bad cop people,
Yeah.
bad lieutenants.
Another great Nick Cage
Yeah.
movie.
Well,
And also doesn't make sense.
Protocol. Well, even the fact that they had to, and why they even had to take the idea of that movie and make it a Port of Call New Orleans. Was that a reboot? Is that a
Yeah, it was a reboot.
God,
There was a bad lieutenant starring Harvey.
You know, I know that, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, is it supposed to be the same movie a second time, or is it just supposed to be the same character in the? It's not because it's not the same plot,
No, it's not the same plot.
so it's not like a reboot. It's like
I think it's the same character.
Of course, yeah.
Is it technically a sequel?
No,
With-
no, it doesn't have to do with the first movie. It's more like not Evil Dead. What's another good example of we were talking about it earlier, of something that's like a less funny version than the original version of the horror movie?
Oh man.
What did we just say?
Yeah, we were.
It's like it was a weird direction to go with not being funny. God damn it.
Oh, no,
But it's
Horror
gonna.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna come back to us.
Evil Dead was another good comparison of like making it not a funny movie.
Yeah.
In the reboot.
Oh, Fright Night.
Fright Night.
Yeah.
There we go. That was a bold move of being like, this movie isn't a horror comedy. It's just it's like a dark thriller a dark thriller horror.
Serious.
Yeah, it's a serious movie. His boxer game is so strong. Johnson, you've got the promotion. God damn it. You know what other movie this is kind of like during this time period is this movie, I think it was called Martin, and it starred Crispin Glover,
Yeah.
right? Is it the one with the, let me think of the right one. And there's also another one where a guy thinks he's a vampire. Let's see.
Oh my gosh. All right, Eric. This is probably my favorite moment in the movie.
All right.
Right here.
Yes. Martin, the 1970 film about a guy, directed by Romero, a guy who thinks he's a vampire.
Yes.
Those are 1995.
You know who stars in Martin? Tom Savini.
Your buddy, your Twitter buddy.
Yeah. This might have been like a very early Romero. Actually, it's weird that this movie wasn't just called a ripoff of Martin, which is about the same concept
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
a dude who goes crazy and thinks he's a vampire. You don't need to go to a magic store to buy fake vampire tea, just FYI. Yeah, because like the thing about Martin
He
is
just opens
yeah.
some bags. That's how I'm gonna open like my bag of chips now.
That's how I vote in everything because I'm a monster.
Next shot, he's just
Yeah,
walking.
she's walking.
Again, these are all pickups. I mean, these are all like this is not a close set.
These are all just gorilla shots.
Yeah, because also it was really hard to film in New York back yeah, and then you didn't get any credits, and like this city wasn't really all about it. So this was just kind of filmed from afar. A lot of these shots, like especially the third act stuff with the in the street.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Hello, Dr. Flavor. This is Peter Lowe. Peter Lowe.
Peter, how are you?
I wonder if I could make my extra flavor with you sooner.
Well, let's see. My next appointment with you is Tuesday afternoon, right?
I'd like to make it sooner.
So what's weird is Martin was such a famous film and considered such a big Romero like high like it's critical success. Everything about it, like there's a big lawsuit about the obscenity. That this movie wasn't just seen as like, well, what are you doing, man? You're just doing
You're just
Martin.
doing the same thing as Martin. Yeah.
You're just doing Martin.
Oh wow.
All right.
Yeah, cool thing that you find out about her. Cool little thing about her character.
Why don't you come in first thing Monday morning, and I'll come into the office early, 7:30, all right?
The only thing I can think is Martin was very much not a comedy. It was
No, it was definitely one of
Horrific.
those. It was definitely very horror driven, and then also it was Romero doing everything that he does. Everything they everything that he's known for, where he likes to have that socio-political element to some of his films.
yeah.
So yeah, no, God, I haven't seen.
Well, this
that.
also has a very big socio-political element, as we're
yeah.
seeing. Huge. Also, do you know how hard it is to catch a pigeon? I've done it once in Central Park. I caught a pigeon with my bare hands. It's real hard.
Oh.
Hey guys, just a little bit about me.
Also, guys, don't touch birds.
That's what the guy who I was on a date with said. I thought I was being very impressive. I was like, I just caught a goddamn bird with my hands, and he's like, well, now you can't eat the rest of the food.
Yeah.
Date over, suffice to say. Don't have time for that nonsense in my life. You guys not impressed with me catching a bird out of midair. It wasn't a sitting bird. It was a bird in the air. I caught
Bird
it.
in the air, and then like
And I didn't so much catch it as I put my hands up and then like accidentally caught a bird. But like that was cool.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to eat the bird with the vampire teeth.
oh,
Yeah.
So I love to eat the
Well,
bird
that-
with the vampire teeth.
That was the thing in Martin was that he has the fake teeth and he's constantly trying to.
but at least in Martin, the fake teeth were a little more convincing.
Savini, who's in the movie, did the special effects for the movie.
Oh man,
Sabine Square. Hashtag Sabine Square.
And it's Romero's favorite film.
really?
That's really great.
This is love that he actually went out of his way to like make a comfortable like
Yeah,
little
with the
mattress
pillows,
with the pillows.
with the books to prop it up a little bit.
Well, exactly. This is
The
because it
corners.
shows you again, like that he's just still like this 1% privileged
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Yeah,
He's like, no, I just rearranged it. It's now like a IKEA vampire.
I mean,
You couldn't remake this movie today, basically, because like you would try to be making it too slick and too
Yeah.
too
You tried to make too much sense out of it.
yeah. Because American Psycho is that,
Yeah.
and American Psycho is already very good at what it did.
But if let's say you had the rights to Vampire's Kiss,
Who would you cast? I've
Yeah.
thought about this so many times.
I'm
yeah,
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson.
yeah,
And then it would just be so good.
Is that
Yes.
unfair or like?
No, it's super
because,
fair.
Because he was
No.
a vampire.
No, because that's
Oh.
it was sort of like, no, that's why it's so good. That's
Yeah.
why it's such a funny joke. But
Yeah,
also,
I guess so,
he's,
yeah.
but then it's also like he's such a good actor. We
Maybe
know
that's
that
right.
now.
Yeah.
Maybe it would like the fact that he was the vampire previously in another franchise.
That's
would
exactly
help
why.
help drive the satire home a little more.
Oh,
Plus, if any of us have seen The Lighthouse, like, he can go fucking crazy.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, have you seen any of his indie movies that he's done?
Oh, God,
Post Twilight, the Dom DeLillo one, where he was just in a car the entire time. What's that? Read the book.
Cosmopolis, right?
Yes.
Yes. Also
good.
a Cronenberg movie, right?
No, that's
Yeah,
not.
Cosmopolis was a
Oh,
Cronenberg
yeah.
movie.
No way. Cosmopolis. Yes. Oh my God.
2013, right?
2012.
Ah, close. Damn, I saw it.
Oh,
in
it's because
2000.
it's a later Cronenberg. My God, this totally passed by. Was this between Eastern Promises and the other one, or is this between
This
History
is-
of Violence and Eastern?
No. This was
Holy shit!
This was after Eastern Promises.
No. This is his first. Oh yeah, okay,
I
maybe
feel like
it's
it was
his,
after History of Violence.
it's the
Yeah, 'cause
first
History of
foray
Violence
into
was
script writing
2004.
since Existence, which you can see why he took a couple years off of after Existence, which is just such
Yeah.
it's such crap. It's like what if Videodrome but VR, which.
What year did Water for Elephants come out?
2012.
Hey guys,
11.
guess what's going on
I
here?
think so. This is
This is a great comment about how New York was, I'm assuming, like, right on that cusp of 89.
yeah, we're walking down, just full on.
Yeah, because he's been watching the movies.
Yeah.
Like, he's as much a product of, like, she had him watch Nosferatu to know how to act. He's not a natural vampire.
Yeah.
He's a, affected vampire.
Yeah.
He's,
Yeah.
much like he studied laughing, he's now studied what vampires act like.
He has gone method within the method.
Yes. This is my favorite movie of all time. So glad. This, I do believe, unfortunately, is not a pickup. Like, this was not like a guerrilla style shot, but it would have been great.
I don't know.
No, this was filmed. I believe this was filmed in Vancouver. It's weird that I know that, but I believe this part was filmed in Vancouver.
Well, like that's one of those things when you've lived in New York for a little bit, like you definitely can sense when they've switched out New York for Toronto and stuff like that. Like I remember watching The Incredible Hulk and being like, that's not New York.
This specific instance is because I just know a lot about this movie. But in most cases, yeah, because New York wasn't a lot. Weirdly, I know a lot about New York's tax credit because it's a weird thing like fonts that I'm just obsessed with. Like when we decided to give tax credits to production. And the fact is, it was impossible to film anything in New York for a really long time. They were filming Giuliani, our former mayor's biopic, up in Vancouver.
Oh wow!
Like that's how bad it was. We just didn't want anything in the city. Then Bloomberg came, and this woman, Kathleen Oliver, became the head of the mayor's office for entertainment and film and television. Brought $7 trillion into the city with in the couple span of years of Spider-Man and all those movies.
Oh man!
So fun fact about me, guys, I know all about that. I broke that $7 trillion figure in the New York Observer in a profile about her.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So tax credits. Call me. Oh my God, he was in 2 Cronenberg movies.
Yeah.
I haven't heard either of these.
Cosmopolis, and I forget what the other one was.
I've heard of Cosmopolis. I've never heard of this one. Maps of the Stars?
Oh yeah, that one I saw. It was just fine.
Yeah, but weird. So is this happening? Like if this was the movie Martin, this would be happening. He would just be murdering somebody. But since those are plastic teeth,
Yes.
Did it actually happen?
no, I think that's her, right? Or is the idea that she's just like in the club and he never did anything? No. That would be noticed.
Yeah.
I don't care how white you are.
Well, if they went to like the back room, like some back room.
He took the teeth out to do that? Yeah, I doubt it. Unless we have some external validation.
Well, there's like you can see there's like multiple holes, like not just like the 2 puncture wounds.
Well, that's what's scary about it. That's
Yeah.
the very Martin idea. Like this person's gone crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I guess he did do it, right? Because he starts vomiting up fucking blood.
He starts vomiting blood.
Oh yeah. This movie's super dark, you guys, actually, for a comedy.
It's a dark comedy.
You're right, he took the teeth out. There's a lot of punctures. He just ripped her throat.
Extremely antisocial behavior. However, are you going to continue this way?
Why are they pointing out now?
Are you actually going to go through with this every night?
Well, that's horrible about the woman.
I know I could do it now. I'm like you, remember?
Peter, you're so pathetic. This
I love you. I like you.
disgusts me.
Let's get a female director on this. This is a pretty good message at the end.
Yeah.
Just sort of fuck you.
Huh.
But like American Psycho, it worked. The female director
Yeah, that,
made it an otherwise almost like truly unbearable story of Reddy Snell is just
so
shit. Like,
so you're saying that Robert Pattinson, if they had to remake this, he should be the lead. You know who I just thought of who might actually be an interesting director?
who?
Now, hear me out on this.
Okay.
She's done stuff in the past where she's done action. She's also done comedy. She's also done really good biopics.
Okay.
Catherine Hardwicke.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna say that. I was gonna say Amy Heckerling,
Oh,
like a dark, like Amy Heckerling going dark. Like,
you know. Okay. Yeah. No, you got me on that.
or we could go somebody new and young. We could be like what's her name from Pet Sematary, the actress Amy Seimetz.
Oh,
I
God.
could see Amy Seimetz doing like a gritty version of this,
I can
like
see Amy
a
Seimetz just
mumble-
doing a lot. Like she's fantastic.
like a mumblecore version of this.
Peter, right?
Yes, right, Peter, right.
How are you?
Oh, Emma. You see her teeth? Shut up! Their teeth! She's a goddamn
And at this point, where are the police?
Yeah.
I know this was like Escape from New York and all, but like
This is
kind of-
pre-Escape from New York.
it is in '89. What year was it? I'm sure I'm deferring to you, but what year was Escape from New York?
Oh, what year did it take place in?
No, what year did it come out?
Oh, sorry. That was 1980.
Okay. So now we have established that he didn't meet her at the bar. He did like her earrings. They did go home.
Yeah.
But what didn't happen was anything after that.
I'm a bad boy.
This is
Fucking Bruce. You got a gun. You got a gun. Fuck off me. No.
this is
Please. Get back in your home, buddy.
This movie really is like a fuck you to the man, though.
Yeah.
It was sort of like the
High school cut.
the patheticness of a former alpha master of the universe type.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh god, the third act of this movie has begun in earnest.
Yes.
And I believe nothing from here on out was something that anybody who was around thought was being filmed. So like, look at her face,
Oh,
guys.
man.
Jesus Christ. Pretty glad he got her blanks though, because otherwise she'd definitely be on the hook for murder.
yeah.
Everyone knew she had a gun in her bag.
And they all joked about it. Like, you know she carries a gun?
Fucking God, that's crazy. You would think even the in a realistic thing though, like you'd be like, but the gun part's not cool, right? Because like, what if she shot one of us? Like,
Yeah.
it's not cool that we should tell her not to keep a gun in her bag,
Yeah.
or like she has to confiscate it until she goes home to Pelham, which we all know is dangerous and full of dangerous people like herself. But it is interesting that they show all New Yorkers as being very, very That's mine.
Lost
As
my
being very, very helpful despite the idea that like New York is supposed to be like
Yeah.
so
Just
dangerous,
post
whatever.
That's not my phone, is it?
He's the most dangerous animal
Oh,
of
you're
them
right.
all.
That's yours? Yeah, it's yours.
This
The
oh,
phone, yeah.
Oh yeah,
The-
it's
the-
fine. It's fine.
I think I might have slipped it.
Here.
I might have slipped in the couch. It's fine.
Oh,
Figure it out, Nick Cage. Do it. You can even tell from the way the camera's positioned that like
I'm a vampire. Kill me. Kill me.
not to say that they're not actors, it's just that like this was not a close set
Yeah.
and a lot of people are reacting naturally.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe that.
That's under the Jay-Z bridge.
Oh.
I used to live there. This movie doesn't fuck around with New York like in terms of that like weird LA thing where it's like all New York's like next to each other. Like, this movie spatially takes place and it makes sense. Tracks.
We vampire. Vampire, you idiot. Nosferatu.
You guys and your belief that he started with the bees. The bees? Are you kidding me? The bees was a callback to Nicolas Cage in his prime. That was him coasting.
In this,
The, it's also very funny that in New York this probably doesn't get very much more than a look.
it's just a normal everyday occurrence.
Well, you see people like that and you're just like, let's give them a wide berth.
Yeah.
Don't like them. And you can get away with doing this in New York because the cars go slow enough that you can walk into traffic. Oh, real?
Oh.
Well, if we consider what that objective shot. Is that your car?
No.
No.
Be cool if it was.
You have Emilio. You would have Emilio's car. Yeah, no. But funny thing I told Drew right before we started the movie was me and my roommates. We both lived right across the street from a church, and every time the church bells would go off, since we were such fans of Vampire's Kiss, we'd always just look at each other and just be like, "The torches of the damned."
Like, look, this is not a set. This is the Bowery again. This is where New Museum is.
Oh,
I forgot. Where did we leave
Oh God, this movie.
You wanted very much to make an early appointment.
Well, I think
He's got the. He keeps the piece of wood.
frankly, I just don't think you can help it. I think the profession is entirely bogus. Entirely. In my opinion.
You really think so?
Yes, I did. For a lot of reasons.
He's got a point. He's a terrible therapist.
Time for a change.
A change? What exactly did you have in mind? Please tell me.
Don't laugh.
I don't know.
Love.
Love?
Yes, baby, real love. You sweep me off my feet. Big L.
Oh my God, he really went with it. He really went for it.
Yeah, I'm not talking about fairy tale love.
Me.
I'm talking about a mature relationship. You think I'm a kid? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, sure, let's see him go out in the jungle and try to find love. He'll come crawling back here in no time. I know it isn't easy, but I know it's possible.
Do you think anyone else auditioned?
I just figured out the
What?
third person. So it's Donald Trump,
Huh?
Keanu Reeves,
Yeah.
and Mike Myers as Wayne.
What kind of torture that is?
Oh my God.
wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait.
The kind of emotion.
Yeah.
It's the physical stuff.
Kind of love.
It's the hand gestures too.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you know Nick Cage knew this was a comedy. 'Cause
Yeah.
he-
Stay with love!
Sorry, laugh.
Hey, we're in love.
I'm sorry. I'm only laughing because, if you had
Now, that's a real shot. That's right above. That's like an Astor Place. It's kind of like what the Barnes Nobles is now. Yeah, that's that water tower. I think that's right. That's the water tower. I think that's around the one that's in Birdman. They're looking at them.
Oh yeah.
That's more uptown, like. But I think we're facing the right way. This looks about right. Unless I'm totally off.
That looks about right.
Sorry guys. This is me as a New Yorker trying to do my thing. That's the Bowery. Can't imagine what that sounds like in his even fantasy that sounds normal. Oh, yeah, that's incredible.
Exactly the same thing that I like. You walk along right in
It's all tracks for his character, who is a publisher. He's just imagining the kind of thing he wants.
I guess not. Thank you so much, Dr. Green. This has been Written in the stars, yes. You like having this much, it's the best. So refreshing. Exactly the same wavelength. Fantastic.
This therapist needs to be charged and put in jail for like negligence. She saw him every day.
Yeah.
Well, I did rape someone.
Jeez.
This is the one part of the movie that doesn't age well, although it does still say the things I think it needs to say.
Yeah.
The beat, the tone of it's a little...
It's a little off, but...
The idea of it's a little off my mind. Oh, yeah.
Also,
Just spit it out.
well, the fact is, I did murder someone last night.
Bitch.
That's all story.
Peter, people get murdered every day. You don't think the world is going to stop.
Yeah, I guess, but the police and everything, what if they find me?
Just stop worrying and just get on with your business.
You're white.
You're white. It's not coming back to you.
Look what he's doing in the street and nothing's happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She will take care of the cops. And maybe if she wasn't busy fucking her boy toy, she would have seen the obvious signs of a man having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't play here. You want to come back?
The reason he gets to do Mandy and Color Out of Space and all the crazy shit he gets to do without us just thinking that he's like a bad actor from like the 90s is because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
And Moonstruck and Leaving Las Vegas.
He does, and also adaptation.
Adaptation, I would say Magic Man. Times where he's proven that he's a fantastic actor who sometimes just phones it in or makes bad choices.
Yeah.
Well, like I started saying before, I turned into a vampire last week. So,
He's got good comedic timing too. Really good.
He definitely would have made an interesting Superman. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's where he fails is whenever he's put in like the hot leading sexy man role. That's where I feel like the movies like suck, right?
Yeah.
That's why we think Nick Cage sucks is because he gets miscast as anything other than like a weird character actor.
But he can definitely pull off the action.
What?
He can pull off the action role. I mean, The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock, but he played the weird chemist in The Rock. It was Sean Connery. He was like the weirdo, like nerd who loved Elton John and stuff. Ever heard Rocket Man? Yeah, like it's crazy. Was Con Air? I'm thinking more like, or like Ghost Rider, or like movies where he's just supposed to be like
Why'd you have to remind me of Ghost Rider?
Yeah, see? I haven't seen the National Treasure movies. Maybe he's good in them.
Oh, he's great in them. I do
think
love
he
those.
is good, though.
Sorcerer's Apprentice, which I feel like he was a missed opportunity for him to do anything. He's already fighting with her. Because even in his head, he can't get it right.
You'd be surprised how many times this has actually worked. It's just
Well, I think we've seen
yeah.
recently that it's very effective tool into getting in places.
The attendants are with me, and the shit just starts right up.
I need a prequel about his like mother. I mean, Bates Motel. What happened to him? Oh, I bet mother put a clothespin on his dick. That's
oh god.
usually what it is.
Hello, Stephen King.
And Red Dragon. Although that was grandmother.
Oh yeah, that. Oh. Do you see?
Fucking pigs! Leave me the fuck alone!
You know that in real life he bought all the haunted houses in New Orleans, right?
See
He bought like Marie Laveau's house.
I just want to go to bed like that.
I hate to break it to you, Eric. It's not unlike that. It's like 7 a.m. Eric's just pulling down the blinds. Oh no, you can't self-sookie. There you go. Die! 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 I can't.
I can't. And if I see Van Helsing.
Oh my god. I think because I've been thinking about the Muppet movie.
Yeah.
Oh. So is this last moment supposed to be played for something like actually poignant and like real, or is it supposed to be played for laughs?
If it was played for laughs, the sofa would fall back on him.
I don't know. I feel like that feels a little bit more real of a beat, that he didn't do some dramatic death like
Yeah.
that Paul Rubens and Buffy going.
Yeah. I do think it's supposed to be a little poignant, but it's interesting that we don't get a shot of Amelia leaving.
What do you mean? You mean?
Of him walking out.
Like he's just gone from the scene. There's no shot of him like.
Well, yeah,
exiting.
but we're pretty. Well, yeah, because you don't want to see him get arrested, and you don't want to see what
I
happens
mean,
to him and
I'm
his family.
just saying literally like walking out of the shot.
Really?
Or of that
Yeah.
apartment. Like he's just literally gone.
Because the story isn't about him.
No, like, not like him leaving. It's like the
The-
continuity editing choice of him like walking out of like the shot of
That's so weird. I thought I literally think I couldn't imagine though. I thought I could see him walking out of
like
the
the last
door.
thing we saw was him standing over his body with driving the stake in it. We did not see him actually like physically leave.
Well, then you
Like
know
he
what? Maybe
just
an interesting choice then, because again, this is all a movie that we're switching perspectives between what's really happening and what's happening in his head.
Yeah.
So it's like in his head he's alone.
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
What I think about it, and you asked me. I did like it. I did enjoy it. Like
No.
it's very much a movie that has like a goal of what it wants to do and what it's trying to accomplish. And I think it does that very well. Like I think it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I think if you're enjoying it, like you enjoy it wholeheartedly for what it is trying to convey with
If
itself.
this movie isn't your cup of tea, like I don't want to know you. Like honestly, like I don't want to know. Like what do you mean this isn't your cup of tea? Like what does that even mean? Like you don't like watching people like.
I'll give you a hot take. I feel like Alex, for your cinema bias, will probably hate this movie.
No, I think she'll find it hilarious because Nick Cage being Nick Cage is like now like a thing.
But for the same reason, she like kind of disliked Pulp Fiction. She's like said like it's not really about anything. It's not really like about like.
Unlike
like-
Pulp Fiction, this movie has a lot to say.
There's a lot to say, but like the narrative of it is like very just like this guy who thinks he's a vampire and like he just kind of does like some wacky things.
But I think she likes American Psycho. She always says that she likes American Psycho, which is a very similar construct of a movie. I think the difference between what Pulp Fiction is and what the bravado of Pulp Fiction of what it's claiming to be,
Yeah.
you know, versus what this is and like really what it is saying, which is truly it is like a class thing.
Yeah.
Like they made very specific choices about who they cast and like what the storyline was and who he was going to be focusing on while he descended into madness, and like it had some things to say.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does say some like interesting things, like for sure.
And then his performance.
Yes, and his performance. This is its own thing.
That's primarily where I think the delineation comes in. Like, it's not a case of if you like, for at least all the times I've shown this movie, like the one thing that everyone, if you love the movie or if you were not necessarily a fan of the movie, everyone can have the same opinion where Nick Cage's performance was the standout thing. Of
Yes,
the movie.
but here's the thing: was it good? Now that's the question from Unity.
Yeah,
It was the standout.
Yeah.
Was it a good performance?
I think it's good. I think it's good just because, like, I mean, as wacky as it is, like, I think he sells it to the point where, like, okay, this is a believable. I believe this guy is
True.
doing this thing, and he believes that this is like these are okay things to do.
And I think this comes down to whether you think Nick Cage thought this was a comedy.
Yeah.
Because if he thinks it's a comedy, then what he's doing is for comedic value, and the whole thing is like kind of played up for comedy. And I think you can't watch that scene with the alphabet and not be like that guy. It's like the end of Midsummer. It's like that's the clue off is the sex cult scene with Chris in Midsummer. It's like that's the clue. Sorry, no spoiler. Just say that the way that's shot and the way that's shot for laughs is a tip off that we're supposed to be feeling a certain way about this film, and it's a comedy now. Like, or that it has comedic elements. This movie has some dark shit to say. Like, Martin is a dark movie. This movie is like trying to say we're not Martin. It's a social satire.
Yeah.
But like we're leaning heavy on the satire element of it. It's
And I mean, so this is 99, right? So this come out.
89.
Oh, it's a different film.
This is Bringing Out the Dead, Martin Scorsese movie that Nicolas Cage is in that everyone forgets about. Don't worry about it.
So Vampire's Kiss was 89, right? And then American Psycho was
American Psycho had just come out
American
as a book.
Psycho is 2000.
2000.
Yeah. American Psycho as a book though had come out.
It was out in like 86, I think. I'd be laughing if that's the actual published.
91.
91.
Oh,
So after this.
damn.
Wow.
So, because like I almost in a way like you could, because I did see a lot of like similarities to American Psycho. Like when I was watching it, I think you could say like this is almost does feel almost like a satirical take on the American Psycho story.
Well, the thing is, American Psycho itself is a satire of, and the book, and she does a great job of it, the director too. Like it's supposed to be, it's played up for not as much because it is more of a horror thriller, but like it's supposed to be a social satire of like that kind of person. It's supposed to like have some beats where you're like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This man's silly. And like the world he's living in, even in the
It's so materialistic.
yeah, and also like in his own world, he's like this mass serial killer. But in reality, when you cut back to it, like he's just nothing and like nobody.
And so I think in that sense, I think this is like, so you're saying this is should be designed to be taken as a comedy. I think if you look at it as that, like this would be like the more comedic version of American Psycho.
It is. It is. It's a comedic version of an already very scathing social satire.
Yeah.
And unlike Christian Bale, like I think the difference is the performances, right? Like the difference is he's doing something that's very different than what Christian Bale's doing.
Oh yeah.
Christian Bale plays him like like that. He's like he's. And they're both very effective performances. My question is though, that this? I don't think this was very far into Nicolas Cage's career. So Nick Cage, this to him could have been the make or break role. And same with Peggy Sue Got Married, where he makes some big choices in that. With that being said, do you think that that he did a good job in this movie? If this is like what he went with.
Yeah, I think he did a good job. Like I think he does a very good job. Like just selling this character, like what he's trying to do.
He made up an accent and ate a cockroach. Like he definitely worked on it.
Yeah, like
He didn't phone it in.
Like what's called like. I know some people that would probably go out of their way to say that that the performance wasn't necessarily good in the film, but the thing is that there is a certain art to even for lack of a better word kabuki theater to a certain extent.
Yes, exactly.
And there's so much subtleties in it, like freaking. I mean, another performance that gets praised, even though it's a kabuki performance, is Jack Nicholson's portrayal in The Shining. It's so over the top.
Or I think maybe the comparison to make here is Neil Bute's The Wicker Man, and the big thing we know of Nicolas Cage going, the bees, and we're making fun of him in that movie. We're saying that that's a ridiculous performance, and that was not him being in on the joke. That movie is like a direct Neil Butte hired, although it's a terrible movie, a terrible remake. Neil Butte, I think, hired him on the basis of being like, you can do something as big as that, and like it's. And Neil Butte is also a social satirist for what you want to say about him. Like he does social satire, and so like the punching women in the face in that movie. Like, I
Or
think
him wearing the bear suit.
yeah. I mean, but that's, I think the whole thing of that movie too is that like people think Nick Cage is like a bad actor because he goes big without realizing that he goes big as specific choices, and he works really hard on it, and a lot of times these are like specific things that are supposed to be comments rather than literal performances.
Right.
Yeah, commentary.
And you asked me as well in that sense that if I thought this kind of if this could be an example of the argument if he's a good actor or not, and I do think that this is just one example in a wider argument you would have to make if you believe he's a good actor or not. You would have to take this and put it alongside with other performances that he have, because they are varied. Because performances are varied among themselves, and I just think this is like one of his perk trees that he has mastered out in his like RPG phase of his life.
But he was like, let me start with this.
Yes.
And then he's like, I'm a Coppola, but I don't want to be known as a Coppola. So let me start with this as
Yeah.
a choice.
Yeah.
And let me just go super big on this, and then let me develop the subtleties of like doing an adaptation later on when I have less to prove. I mean, it's just crazy that this is like, he was like, let me prove to the world that I am not Coppola, by the way, which is like, yeah, you definitely proved you're not a subtle, you definitely proved you're not a Coppola.
Yeah.
But I think also the other thing to look at as well too is back when taking directing classes over in film school, like the one thing that my instructor always said was the job of directing is making your actor do something that they would not want to do, because it's one of those things where it's like it's tough to tell an actor cry on camera or show this vulnerable side to yourself. Whereas I think what Cage demonstrates in this is that he's willing to go to any and all lengths.
And they're like, please stop.
Yeah.
They're like, no one's asking you to eat the goddamn cockroach, Cage. And he's like, bring me 4 more cockroaches. Yeah. So I was I used to compare his performance here to like Steve Martin, like Steve Martin in like Little Shop or something like that, where it's almost like,
oh yeah,
if you think about this as him committing so hard to a comedic role, that this is like what he's willing to go through, then I would say there's no doubt, and there should be no doubt that he's like one of our best actors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That this is how far he was willing to commit for like a comedy.
Yes. Yeah. No one can ever say Nick Cage does not commit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yes.
And the whole like the bees, you know what, guys? That's a sign he's a great actor.
Yes.
Not a terrible one.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm fully under the belief that there's no such thing as, I mean, there is such a thing as bad acting, but more often than not, it can be attributed to poor direction as well too.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
also just like there's performances and there's choices. He never doesn't make a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's always making a choice. Whether that, again, if you go back and Peggy Sue Got Married, it's supposed to be a normal role. He's playing a normal guy. And he talks like this the whole movie. And Kathleen Turner in her like biography was like, yeah, he was a prick on set and he had so much to prove. But also like, why did he go with that voice? It's because he like wanted to make a choice and be like, I'm an actor and actors do something different than what they are. So like, let me be this guy.
Yeah.
He takes the idea of acting to mean something very physical.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. But yeah, that is
Anyway.
Vampire's Kiss. Again, my first time seeing it. I did enjoy it very much. I had a great time.
I'm so glad.
This probably will be coming out a little bit later. But I don't know if it'll be alongside or very close to your review on it with Cinema Bias.
Probably, I don't
Alex
know. I mean, this will probably be something that's ended up traded for food or water in the New World Order.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows?
Yeah, but if this is out later, you should go check out Drew's review with Alex Mack on Cinema Bias on her channel.
Yeah, there's this thing called YouTube. Video Drew.
There
you
was.
can find me on.
There
you can
was.
find me on
Well,
it. What about you, Andres?
oh, you can find me on Twitter at Galaghost, and you can find me on Instagram at Galaghost as well too. And if you can find the old tapes, I was on the Schmodown at one point.
The what? The what now?
Yeah.
Tell me, Papa Kaiser. What was this Schmodown? Papa Smets? What was this? The Schmodown?
Schmodown?
And,
You see, I was king once. I had belts. They worshiped me. Go ahead.
And you can find me at Nerdchronic across almost social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all those things if they're still around. And I do think that we are...
So weird that we have to fucking
yeah, we have to phrase it like that. And I do think we have wrapped it up here, so let's call it a show, I guess.
That's the sode.
Yeah, yeah.
New World Order.